Guys, this video is sponsored by SimpliSafe, but we'll talk about those guys later in the video.
Oh snap, Chase on a KTM, and this time it's a touring setup. Let's go, fam. What's going on, guys? Chaseontwowheels here at Mountain Motorsports in Roswell, Georgia. In front of us, we have a used 2017 KTM Superduke 1290 GT. This is essentially the insane Superduke, slightly modified with bags and a big screen. I am super excited for this first ride, guys, and you guys know how we got to start it. We got to see what it looks like, and we got to see what it sounds like. Alrighty, guys, that is what it looks like, and that is what it sounds like with a freaking stock exhaust. It's absolutely nuts. Now, guys, before I turn that key, we are going to talk about an ad real quick so we can bring you guys the highest quality footage that you expect out of a first ride.
Thanks SimpliSafe for sponsoring this video. For you guys that don't already know, SimpliSafe is an easier way to secure your home and family. SimpliSafe systems are customized to your home with a comprehensive lineup of sensors and cameras that all connect to their 24/7 monitoring service that sends help fast in an emergency. They've got all types of sensors that cover windows, rooms, doors, and lots of great extras like water sensors, smoke detectors, as well as cameras, both for outdoor, doorbell cams, and indoor cameras. You simply go on their website and go through all of the sensors, and you just grab as many as you need to cover all the spots in your house. With all of their sensors, your home, garage, or shop is professionally monitored 24/7. If anything happens, SimpliSafe's always-on team will call authorities immediately. By the time I finally get to call it a day, I barely have the brain space to remember to enjoy what I have, much less protect it. Luckily, SimpliSafe takes a few steps out of the process by eliminating the need to schedule a service appointment, as well as delivering it directly to you. That way, when you get a free moment, you can knock out what you can and pick back up the next day. I've had really terrible experiences with other security companies locking me into contracts, and then I have to pay them to cancel it when me and my wife moved. Now I don't have to worry about that anymore with SimpliSafe. Plus, trying SimpliSafe is completely risk-free. If you don't absolutely love your system, just return it within 60 days for a full refund. If you guys are in the market for a new home security system, you can save 20% on your SimpliSafe security system when you sign up for an interactive monitoring plan, and you get your first month free. You're welcome. Just visit simplisafe.com/chase to learn more. Also, thank you guys for checking them out because it really helps the channel out. And as always, there's no safe like SimpliSafe. And now, back to the video.
All right, guys, thank you for watching through the ad. Really appreciate you guys that support the companies that support us. It allows us to make the content we make here, and we super appreciate that. And also, we gotta love SimpliSafe, am I right? But anyways, guys, all right, let's get the phone, if I don't drop it into the motorcycle, on the quad lock. We got a little handlebar mount on the quad lock today, so we love quad locks. Getting it going. There we are. Now, guys, we do have modes, and we have semi-active electronic suspension as well. So our rear tire pressure is low. Noted. Thank you, KTM. All right, so we got a menu here. We're going to click through it first. We're in sport mode. We're going to go to rain mode. Very easy to change the modes on this here motorcycle. Dampening we have in comfort. We'll put that on street. I don't know if we'll change the dampening, but that's where that's at. Load, I'm one person. We're not going to change any of that. Cool. All right, settings are done. All right, guys, so I am 5'10", I got a 32-inch inseam, and as you guys can see, I can flat foot, but I can only just flat foot. My legs are pretty straight and extended here. You know, keep that in mind if you are a shorter rider. And with that being said, guys, let's get this ride going. And guys, while I navigate through the parking lot, if you guys are interested in motorcycles and you like Discord, we have a motorcycle Discord server full of motorcycle enthusiasts just like yourself. So if you guys want to hang out there, we'll have a link in the description for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 2017 Superduke 1290 GT. They basically took the monster that is the Superduke and was like, let's make it a little more comfortable, give you some luggage, and give you a big windscreen, even though this windscreen, as massive as it is an aftermarket part. This is a used model, so there are a couple slight changes of this model from how it would come stock. I don't even think KTM makes this bike anymore. I know they made it last year. I'm recording this in 2022. It's currently not in their catalog, so I don't know if KTM is retiring this bike or what. So it'll be interesting to ride it and get a feel for what it feels like, and maybe figure out, like, is there a reason KTM is not doing this anymore, or what's the whole deal? All right, guys, so let's talk about body position real quick. Now, as far as the seat goes, I do think I have a comfort seat on, so keep that in mind. But I have to say, the seat feels great. It's like firm enough to be really comfortable, but it's not too firm where I'm just stuck in it. I feel like I can move around a lot. I really love the seating position. My legs are tucked up a little bit, but not a lot. And I noticed that my legs fit really well into the gas tank grooves here by my knees. I love the body position, at least waist down. I feel like I can hold on to this thing with just my legs, and I feel super secure. Now on the top half, we do have handlebars here. My back is pretty upright and only slightly leaned forward. My arms are kind of draped down here. I am extremely comfortable in this body position. I have no modifications to this at all. I wouldn't know what to tell KTM to modify this. I really like this body position. Now we are in the rain drive mode, and I have to say, rain mode a little more powerful than I would expect a rain mode to be. So what I'm gonna do is change our ride mode to street now. Like I said, we do have 3 ride modes. We have sport, rain, and street. We were in rain, we are now in sport. So we'll see what this thing feels like, and then we'll change into sport mode once we get to the highway. Let's get around this. Oh my god, that is street mode. That's not even sport mode. Goodness gracious. Oh, that's awesome. You can definitely tell that rain mode tones this thing way down. I will note that in rain mode I wasn't getting any vibration, but now I'm in street mode. I'm riding it a little harder, and I am feeling some of that classic KTM vibration that I would almost expect out of a KTM bike. So guys, as far as handling, let's talk about that here on the street. The handlebar and the body position are in a phenomenal place for me to feel like I have full control over this bike. It is very agile, and I think it comes in at a weight of 503 pounds, which really isn't bad for a touring bike. But when you mix that with the handlebar and the body position, I feel like I am in ultimate control of this bike, and that really gives me a lot of confidence as a rider. I will say, I'm even getting vibration in my foot pegs. And I didn't feel any vibration in rain mode. That's interesting. So guys, as far as the balance goes on the bike, you know, first time riding it, and I already feel like I've got the balance nailed. Very easy to balance this thing. It feels like when I was moving it around the showroom to get it outside, you know, you look at this bike and it's got the bags on it and it's kind of low and squatty. When I picked the bike up off the kickstand for the first time, I really expected it to weigh far more than it did, because 503 pounds is not light. But when I picked it up, I was like, my God, where is all that weight? So KTM has done a really good job of keeping that weight down low. I think that one adds to the easeability of using this motorcycle, like, you know, rolling it around, but it also makes it really maneuverable because that weight is so centered and so low. it just allows you to flick the bike back and forth. I would never guess that this thing has a 1290 cc, or I think it's like 1301 technically, size engine in it. It feels far more nimble than I think you would expect. I keep wanting to go to the horn when I'm putting that blinker on. I keep going to the horn, almost hitting it, and then I keep searching around for the blinker. We'll talk more about the buttons, but just something I'm noticing while I'm riding it here. Look at that, man. First time riding the bike and I can already like do the whole like slow speed thing. I will say that rear brake, I don't know if that's stock. It doesn't look stock, but they have that thing set up so low. I have to like pivot my leg forward to even reach it. All right, they're stopping. Let's get this thing leaned over a little bit. It's definitely a Superduke. Ain't nobody gonna deny that. My goodness. Let's check the brakes real quick. Woohoo! We got some front ABS action. I know we have Brimbos on this thing, and my goodness, that thing was diving down. I do know in comfort mode, this semi-idle suspension has like some sort of like brake dive. When you have this thing in comfort mode, it will keep the bike horizontal, because like when it's in like sport and street mode, I think the brakes or the front suspension will come down, so you know you feel as a rider you're going forward. Supposedly, when you're in comfort mode on the dampening, yeah, so we're on dampening on the street. In comfort dampening, it'll keep you horizontal, which is it's pretty cool. Okay, Lamborghini. Okay, there's so many. All right, so we're still in street power mode. We're good. Guys, sitting at a red light, going back and forth. Once I get the bike leaned over a little bit, I can start feeling that weight. So as long as the bike stays relatively like in this area as far as angles go, it doesn't really feel heavy. But if you lean too far over, you can discover the weight. Got a quick shifter. We love it. That's interesting, you know, going from a red light to going in street mode, you can really tell and feel how it's tapering that power down. And when you get higher in the revs, it's starting to give you more of that power. Like, okay, cool, clearly if this person's in street mode and they're going at this high of RPM, they want to get some of that power. It's almost like you could feel it be released, because you know, with 173 horsepower and 101 foot-pounds of torque, this thing has an enormous amount of power, and it's also like small and squatty. I'm really happy to see all the electronics that KTM has put on this bike. You know, it's bikes like this that really benefit from having that added level of electronics. So that was kind of cool. That was interesting to be able to feel the drive mode, you know, giving me the power that I was asking for. Yeah, up there like 8,000. It does it every time. That's awesome. It's almost like you can feel the restriction under 8,000 RPM. I'm super interested in what the 40 to 80 pull is going to be now in sport power mode, because is it going to be unrestricted the whole time? That's going to be really cool to check out. I am really excited about that. So guys, so far, riding this thing in the street on street power mode, this thing is a dream. The body position, I'm in a phenomenal situation to control the bike. It's got so much power, but it's actually really rideable, and the power's in a great spot for the street. I've had no problem with like the power being real twitchy or anything. I don't know if there could be a better amount of power for the street. Like, I don't know how they're controlling this much power in that one ride setting, but as far as a city bike, like, my God, I would have never thought this thing was going to be this good. Speaking of which, I have now put it into drive mode sport. So this should be full power mode, and we'll do our 40 to 80 pull up here, but this is about to be fun, fam. I think I'm going to start in first. Oh my God, this is terrifying actually, because there's a lot of power to mess with. Oh God, help me. All right, here we go, boys. 40 to 80. Dude, I was leaned all the way up, and it was still coming up in sport mode. My goodness gracious. Woo, this. That's Superduke DNA. Jesus Christ. All right, guys, so we're here on the highway with the Superduke GT. Right now, wind's not hitting me. Look at this. I got no wind right here. It isn't until right here that wind starts to come into play. That is incredible. And then, like I said, this is an aftermarket windscreen. It's not what comes stock, but my God, it does such a great job. We can bend in. Right here, dude, I got no wind on my helmet at all. As far as maneuverability here on the highway, like I said, it feels like a lighter motorcycle, and I've got these hard bags on the side, but I feel incredibly stable. That being said, I got no problem switching lanes. I got no problem moving around in my lane. This thing feels great. Also, super important for highway use, I have cruise control. Now, I don't love that the cruise control is on the right side, because I would have to hypothetically control it with my right hand. I don't like doing that at all, so I'm going to engage the cruise control. I'm going to hit set, and I'm good. Bike seems super controlled and fine. I will say, when we're really giving it some here on the highway, we get a lot of vibration in the mirrors and my foot peg, so stuff to keep in mind there. Overall, though, phenomenal showing for this motorcycle. And this is where this bike needs to do a great job. This thing, look at the mirrors, how much they vibrate. This bike should be able to get on the highway and you ride all day long. And honestly, right now, I could totally see riding this thing. I could ride this thing across the country if we're going to be really honest. The only weird thing with the wind is I'm getting a lot of not vibration, but I can feel the wind hit me on my sides. I imagine that's this little covering that's opening up, and then when I throttle up, I can really feel the vibration, and I'm going a little faster than I probably should be, of course. All right, guys. Wow, what a showing. This is top 5 bikes I've ridden on the highway without a doubt. KTM has done a phenomenal job with this motorcycle, and this is back in 2017. Let's get shifted down a little bit and get ready for our turn that we're gonna literally run straight into traffic for. That's unfortunate. When we were doing the camera car run, we got a much more open turn, and this thing leaning it over started feeling very Superduke-ish, which is an incredible accomplishment. To be able to make a bike comfortable and good for travel, but still give it the DNA that it gets its name from, the Superduke, which has an incredibly high-level pedigree. In my opinion, the Superduke is one of the apex naked bikes. It rides incredibly well. It feels like everything is great about that motorcycle. And if you want wow, this car doesn't know what's going on, so we're just gonna chill back a minute. Superduke's a phenomenal motorcycle. If you're gonna put the word Superduke on a motorcycle, it better be a fucking incredible bike. And RIP to the Lexus. That sucks. All right, guys, well, while that Lexus gets pulled over, let's jump to the guys in the camera car and see what the guys in the camera car think about the Superduke GT from old 2017.
2017 KTM Superduke GT. We don't know if they make this anymore, but the Superduke on dad mode, so all the power and all the bags. Gotta love it.
I am the odd one out. I think this may be one of the ugliest bikes I've ever seen. I hate most of what is happening.
We love you, KTM.
Oh, God. Get a super adventure. That's all.
All right, guys in the camera car, thank you so much for your opinions. And also, I'm going to get out of sport mode. I'm going to go back to street mode. I don't need that level of power that sport mode has, and I want it to be tapered off a little bit. I want that low down taper, but I do like that bottom half of the power band is kind of tapered off in street mode, or at least what it feels like to be tapered off in street mode. So guys, power wise, I don't think anybody's going to be surprised. This bike is incredibly powerful. It's derived from the Superduke. There's a couple of slight modifications with the engine, but that twin has so much power all over the place. The only issue with that big old twin is that it does create a little bit of serious vibration, and the main places I'm feeling that are the mirrors and the foot pegs. I'm not getting a ton of it through the handlebars. Overall though, I really love the power. I love the way it's delivered. I think they've got this thing mapped out really well. If it was me, I would taper down the rain mode a little bit, and I do know rain mode is the only mode that actually drops the power to 100 horsepower, which is hilarious. But I would taper rain mode down just a little bit more, just my personal opinion. As far as the gearing and the shifting, gearing feels phenomenal. You guys saw that 40 to 80 pull. I was just rocking up through gears, and I feel like the gears are in a fun range to where I still get to shift a little bit here on the road. You guys can see I'm just kind of chilling on this road in 4th gear because I'm wanting to ride chill. And a lot of the times, one of my problems with like the bigger bikes is there's no real reason to shift. So I feel like they've really set the gearing up on this bike really well, so I can still enjoy shifting the bike. Now, as far as the actual shift lever, feels solid. You know, you guys that are fans of the First Ride series, KTM seem to have a really hard hitting shifter. So when you shift, you really feel it. And we got a quick shifter on this bike, and when you hit that quick shifter, you get a punch. You are never going to wonder if you shifted gears in the KTM. That is the exact same here on the Superduke GT, sorry. Clutch feel is really good as well. A little light for a bike like this, but it's going to cause no finger tiredness issues for you, I don't believe. Now, suspension wise, like we said, we got an electronic semi-active suspension. This thing has felt great. I haven't really got to take advantage of that a lot with the shots we're doing here on the GoPro, but on the camera car run that we did, we got to really push the bike a lot more than this, and the suspension feels rock solid. I had this bike leaned all the way over in the camera car run, and it was just locked on the road. Very confidence-inspiring suspension. That paired with how they've got the weight figured out, KTM's doing a lot of good on this bike. We did test out the brakes a bit earlier. Super strong. We got Brembos in the front. Let me get around this car, or truck, excuse me. Brembos feel really good. If I give a little pull on them, I get a decent amount of stopping power. And if you really pull on them, this thing will come to a stop quick. We also do, of course, like I said, have front and rear ABS. So if you do come to a bit too fast of a stop, you've got ABS to help you out. The brakes feel great. I was surprised earlier that the front ABS kicked on. But so far, when I've used the brakes just in daily riding, there hasn't been an issue. Hasn't been an issue at all. Alrighty, guys, let's talk about the controls real quick. Very kind of normal KTM controls. Like if you guys have ridden higher level KTMs, this is going to look very similar to you. I think the controls here on the right side, like I said earlier, I don't love that cruise control is over here. I wish they could have integrated that here on the left side. And the box is huge over here, but all the buttons feel fine. I will say, for a bike that's of this price level, I would expect the buttons to look and feel a little more premium. But the things that really matter is the touch, the feel, and the touch and the feel is fine. They do just look a little, you know, Japanese level. You know what I mean? Like, I can tell, like, that looks like a starter that came off of a Japanese bike, which is not a problem. But you're paying a premium price here, so I would expect a little more premium of that. So, you know, personal opinions. All the buttons have worked fine. I've had no problem using them. As far as the screen goes, we've kind of got the double screen here. We've almost got like a mode screen, and then we have the tack, and then we have like your info screen. I honestly, like, this is my favorite. If you're gonna have this old school, and this is a 2017, so we got to keep that in mind. I like having a physical tack. I feel like it adds to the motorcycling experience, so I love this. And having a physical tack makes me okay with having this Game Boy level like screen on here. If you look at something like my MT10 has a nothing but digital dash. When it has nothing but a digital dash, then I feel like it's kind of like meh. But oddly, and you guys can let me know in the comments if you agree, when I have this combo, I feel totally fine. I've got no problem with this dash, even though it's this kind of like old school Game Boy shit, but there's a lot of stuff over here in the menus that you can dig through. Luckily, KTM's done a really good job of the up, down, set, and back. You can navigate everything in the menu with those controls. Super solid. Now, as far as the mirrors have been fine. Like, I can see my arm a little bit in the mirrors, but Overall, I don't have to really chicken wing to see behind me, so those are solid. Controls feel good. We got integrated heated grips. We're coming out of summertime right now, so I'm not going to test the heated grips out, but it comes with heated grips. That's really cool. We got this giant windscreen that does a phenomenal job, and I know the stock windscreen is adjustable. I wonder if this one is. Oh, even the giant one is adjustable. So a little clunky with the windscreen. Yeah, if you don't find the right hole, it does not like it. Not even touching that one. Alright guys, so yeah, you know what, we're here on the street, let's keep it low. But yeah guys, overall really comfortable bike. I think these are stock levers and they are adjustable, so you guys know I love having that. I honestly think that's it for the controls, guys. So up here we are going to take a right. We're gonna pull off, get this thing parked in a parking lot, do a quick little walk around the bike and see what we think about it. I know you guys have been getting to look at it in that camera car footage, but figured I'd point some stuff out to you guys and show you around the old thing. It's incredible how comfortable this bike feels. Just leaning it over, and you get to a point where you're leaning with it and you're like, can it go even farther? And the bike's just super compliant. Oh, here, let's get the bike turned off real quick. Before we step off of it, look at this kickstand, man. You can't even see it, but it's hidden underneath the passenger peg. I don't really love that. I wish it was either shorter or farther away so I could reach it better. Alrighty guys, 2017 KTM Superduke 1290 GT. You guys have to let me know in the comments what you think about this thing. It looks very KTM. You have the orange, of course. I think this is a pretty cool looking bike. I really love, my highlight personally is how together the bags feel and look with the motorcycle. They fit really well together. They look like a unit, and I really love the way those bags look. I will say I am a fan of the newer style Superduke headlight, so I'm not a ton of a fan of this one, but I do love the shape in general. I just don't love the way the inside looks. I wish it had that newer KTM Superduke headlight. Here you can see the WP suspension, the Brembo brakes, and I mean, I gotta be honest, the exhaust is huge. We all know, like, you can see that, but the bike sounds good, and with it being blacked out, it kind of just blends in. Your eye doesn't go straight to it. If I were to own this motorcycle, I think I would actually keep that exhaust. I don't think I would change that up at all. Oh, if I didn't mention, this bike has a modified subframe that is there to actually hold, account for the extra weight for both the bags and a potential passenger. Yeah, very KTM, very solid. Here's another thing, an update. We got the sliders here, and this has to be, like, KTM doesn't put this kind of stuff on their seat. This has to be some sort of comfort seat, and my God, what a great seat that is. So yeah, guys, let me know in the comments what you think about it. Like, look at that windscreen, man. Like a giant shield, like you're just gonna like beat through an army. Oh, freaking love it. We got the single-sided swing arm, which just, the exhaust covers up a lot of it, but there's something about having a single-sided swing arm that just gives you that, like, upper level of quality. Is it just me? It could just be me. Alright, guys, I'm going to grab my phone. I'm from the Quad Lock. Shout out to Quad Lock for sponsoring the First Ride series. If you want a discount on Quad Locks, you guys know I got you a link in the description. So guys, I'm going to take some photos for Instagram real quick. If you guys aren't following us on Instagram, you totally should. It's at C2WPics. That's what we are on Instagram. We're also making TikTok content at Chaseontwowheels. You guys go follow us over there, and I'll be right back after I take some photos. Alright guys, that's it for the photos. If you guys want to see them, you guys know where to find them. Guys, though, as I'm sitting here taking the photos, I don't know if I've ever seen a company do side bags better than what I'm seeing right here. Let's get back on this motorcycle, because we got to do a steering stem lock test. Alright, here we go, boys. Steering stem all the way over. It doesn't seem like a lot, but let's see what it's got. Okay, about middle of the pack we got here. Not terrible, not great. About middle of the pack, I'll take that. That's okay, Mr. Superduke GT. That is not going to stop me from loving the shit out of you. Now the question is, who the heck is this bike for? Alright guys, I have been spending some time on the Superduke GT, and let's talk about who I think this bike is for. First off, I mean, there's no denying it. This bike is literally the Superduke in dad mode. That's what the guys and I in the shop have been laughing at about this bike. KTM took their amazing Superduke 1290 and then they made it into dad mode, which is ironically exactly what I've done with my MT10. A lot of you guys know I have a 2019 MT10. What have I done to it? I've put a bigger windscreen on it, and I've put bags on the side. Are quintessential updates that you do to a motorcycle that you plan on spending a lot of time on. And I also have a comfort seat, just like this bike has as well. So I think, honestly, at the end of the day, KTM did a phenomenal job of somehow taking their Superduke, which has the nickname in the industry as the Beast, and taming it to the degree that you had a motorcycle that's very easy to ride, very easy to maneuver, has luggage so that you can carry stuff, and has wind protection, albeit not as much wind protection as this one has. This comfort seat is a must on this motorcycle, but after spending a couple hours on this thing, guys, truly, I think I could take this thing clear across the country with no freaking problem at all. It has been a pleasure to ride, and I've enjoyed everything I've done on this bike. So, to get to the person that I feel like this bike is for, I don't know if you're doing only street stuff. For one, that's one of your main things. Obviously, you're not going to be taking this bike off-road or anything, but if you're doing nothing but street touring or just riding around, or you just want a bike that's technically really capable but also has the capabilities of being comfortable to ride every day, and you could go get freaking groceries in this thing. If that's something you're looking for, this is probably one of the top 3 bikes you can get for wanting all-in-one bike. I don't think if you're on the street, this bike, I don't think there's anything this bike can't do. And do it, and I'm not talking like, oh yeah, well it can do this and it can do that. No, it's super maneuverable. It has a ton of power. It's comfortable, has a windscreen, has a comfortable seat. Like, I can't imagine doing anything as long as I'm on the asphalt that I wouldn't love doing on this bike. Love the body position, love the power delivery. I'm just an overall like really big fan of this motorcycle. I didn't even know a lot about this bike until we went and did this first ride. And now I'm like, if KTM doesn't bring this bike back for 2023, I'm gonna be sad. This is going to go down in my own personal history books as a sleeper motorcycle that I guess didn't get enough purchases to continue doing. If you guys have an opportunity, I implore you, go ride this bike around, because this bike is phenomenal. Speaking of riding this bike around, guys, I got to give a shout out before the end of the video to my guys over at Mountain Motorsports. We know them. We love them. They're the guys that allow me to ride all the bikes they have in their dealership for you guys, to let you know what they are like riding them for the first time. If you guys want to check out Mountain Motorsports, we got a link to them in the description down below. Go check them out. They got like 6 dealers here in North Georgia or something like that. Tons of inventory, tons of motorcycles, so you can go to one and sit on God knows how many bikes and see which one fits you the best. There's also a discount for First Ride fans. Check that link, it'll tell you everything you need to know. But guys, I appreciate you riding around with me. Make sure to like the video if it helped you out, and subscribe for more motorcycle content. I'm Chaseontwowheels. You guys ride safe, and I'll see you on the next one. Outro crew, what up? Outro crew, make sure to put OC in your comment when you comment down below. Make sure to like that video, because you guys know how much it helps out. And when you make a comment, put OC in your comment so I know you guys made it to the outro crew, because you guys know I love you a little bit longer. And guys, in your comment, let me know, like, KTM literally made out of the Superduke what I tried to make out of my MT10. So, like, no shit, I love this thing, right? Let me know what you guys think. Should we get dad mode options for all of the big deal nakeds? I think we should, and I think a lot of the companies are making them. You know, we got the Suzuki makes their GSXS 1000 GT. I really want to see an MT10 GT now. I want to see what Yamaha would do with an MT10 GT. Huh. Alright guys, we'll see you in the next one. Later.